My last video was about understanding why to study the Bible. And now I want to take some time to really look at how to study the Bible. Because without a how, without a plan, without something that you can do and will do, then talk is cheap. It's one of my favorite leaders said years ago, ideas are crap. It's execution that matters. Like anybody can have thoughts, but until you start doing something, none of it matters for anything. And so I don't want to just sit here and tell you like, oh, you better do it. Because that's like saying, well, you need to get in better shape. But until we have something, simple, something that you can grab onto and actually put in practice, then I'm wasting my time, I'm wasting your time. So one of the best lessons for Bible study that I ever got came quite unexpectedly at a concert. And the singer was like just between songs, kind of setting up the next song, was sharing some stuff of his experiences in reading the Bible and how he found it, the idea of finding himself in the story, like reading these things and seeing the person that you can identify with and like and sort of an empathy sort of thing, to put yourself in that person's shoes and imagine what this event would be like from their perspective. Because that's the biggest problem. We so over spiritualize the Bible. We read these things and we put these people on a pedestal and we act like, oh, it's Father Abraham, the patron of the faith, or oh, it's Elijah, the great prophet, or Moses, the amazing leader, and so, or oh goodness, it's Jesus. And so we read these stories like these are, oh, they're superhuman. They're not like us at all. But the Bible even takes the time to spell out and say these are normal people. Like the book of James talks about Elijah, who's, the guy that's really kind of revered. And he said, Elijah was a guy just like us, just like you and me. And that's the big piece of it. I don't so much focus on the finding yourself in the story, but I focus on seeing the humanity, the real people in it. Because it's so valuable, so important to look at these things, that these are real stories of real people living real lives in the real world. God gave us a bunch of raw and gritty stories that don't pull punches, that go ahead and, show the stupid things people do and the consequences of it, that show the way people were thinking and acting. Like I've said before, that it's revealing human nature. The Bible isn't there to show us what did happen. It shows us what always happens. It shows us this is how the world works. And if you don't see this as real life, as real people, then you miss that. When we read these things like it might as well be, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, that's not the real world. None of us are walking into a cottage where a family of bears is eating porridge. But these are stories of real people, real things that happened, but they're lessons for us to learn, and you've got to see that reality and the humanity in it. Don't just look at these. We mess it up because we know how the story ends, but look at it as the person in midstream who hasn't read this book yet, and like when Daniel is thrown into the lion's den, he doesn't know the rest of that book. He doesn't know how it comes out. But don't just look at Daniel, look at the king who spends a sleepless night stressing over how his dumb, foolish pride put someone he genuinely respects in danger, and now he's, freaking out about it more than the guy whose life is on the line. And it's like, these are the things these are real people. These are things that we can learn from, but you can't learn from it and let it speak to you if you're seeing it like, a fable, a fairy tale, this, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, or once upon a time. Like, it has to be reality. And so just look at it, look at the text and look at the people and see the humanity, see the reality of what these people are experiencing, and slow down, take the time to, when you read something about, a person going through whatever situation, ponder what that would be like. How would you feel to get that news that just, blew their minds, or to see this amazing thing, or, maybe to be that prophet who is part of this incredible miracle that goes down, but then it makes zero impact on the people around him, and nobody actually is converted by the incredible sign that God just did. And like, what more do you want from me? Like, see the reality and the raw humanity. That's what God put in there for us. And it's so accessible. You don't need any kind of special qualifications to read stories about people and see them as people.